So I'm going to run through another modification which is quite a common one with most people racing the stock class of Mini Z, and that is called the Kingpin Flip. It basically involves taking a stock Mini Z where we have the kingpins and the hub travelling up and down the kingpin. Okay, it's quite hard to show you. Okay, but if you've got your own, you'll be able to see it. The kingpin is staying still, and you can see it sliding through the pivot ball on the kingpin, and the hub sliding up and down, obviously working the arm. However, you can see that I'm actually having to put quite a lot of force to get this to travel up, and it's not as free as it could be when we do the kingpin flip. So you can see on this car here, we have the kingpin mounted in the top and then poking out the bottom, okay, and you can already see that this is a lot more compliant. Okay, it's a lot smoother and freer, basically because the hub is not having to slide on the kingpin. The hub is only now sliding in that bottom pivot ball. The whole kingpin is moving upwards, and it just frees it up and allows the suspension to travel way smoother. And like I say, it's a well-known mod in the stock class Mini Zs, and it is also a 100% free mod. It does not require anything other than what you have in your ready set. It just requires basically probably a pair of cutters, something like that, or maybe some cutters like that, or a hacksaw, a file, and a screwdriver just to take the parts apart, and that is it. So with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, probably let's start off. We could remove the wheels, but there's no real need to. If we can, as long as we can get the little C-clips off the top, which we can very easily. Okay, and I'm going to put those just in the tub at the back there. Do both sides at the same time. Okay, these C-clips are now not going to be needed. So that is those off. We are then going to take a screwdriver and we are going to undo the hinge pins, the two hinge pins. And remove them out the way. And that is then going to allow us to disassemble the whole front end. Okay, going to need the arm, we're going to put the spring in there. Now, I think on my last video we had this apart, and I was telling you to be very careful of these little washers. Likewise, in this mod, be very careful that you don't lose them, because you will need them. Okay, both sides disassembled. Okay, so now we have the hubs separated. Not going to do anything to those, but what we are going to modify is the arms and mainly the kingpins. Okay, so these kingpins will gently pop out. Now I don't like to bend them out. It is a very quick way of getting them out, but I prefer to place a bit of pressure with something on the back just to pop them straight out, so that you don't sort of chance stretching the plastic around them and making them any sloppier than they need to be. So that done, two kingpins out. We're going to do the same to the balls in the top of the arms. Okay. Making sure I get those to come out the same way, and just something else to pop them out. There we go. They generally come out nice and easy. So I'm pushing down from the top so that they come out the bottom. That is the direction that you need to go. So that is that. So next step will be doing the modification. Okay, so now we've got the parts all apart. We can go on and do the modification. What we're basically going to have to do is shorten the kingpin approximately down to this small little ridge where the E-clip went. Okay, basically we're removing that whole section, and this is so that when it's upside down that it doesn't dig into the track. We do not want to remove too much though, because otherwise it will pop out through the ball that it's travelling through. So a number of different ways that you can do this: hacksaw, Dremel, decent pair of cutters, or yeah, whatever real means that you want to do. I'm going to go with a pair of cutters, and I'm just going to do that. I'm going to use these ones here because they're one of my favourites. Okay, so it comes off really easily. That is now removed, but you can see there's a bit of a sharp edge, so I am just going to remove that with a file. Just taking the top of the shaft down so it's smooth with the top of where that recess is. Okay, so we're just about there. Just about see it there. Okay, a little clean up. Just with a fine file. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then I'm just going to very lightly take off any burrs around the edge. Can even use a little bit of wet and dry if you've got any to hand. Right here. Okay, tiny bit of wet and dry just on that edge to make sure you've got no burrs. Okay, you don't really want to touch the shaft too much. Okay, and that is it. I'm going to do the same to the other one in just a second. The other thing that you can do, just with a bit of Duragrit or even some sort of 1000 grit sandpaper, and that is to polish up these shafts and the ball, just to help it be as free as possible in the plastic. Okay, we don't want to remove much material, or really remove any material, but making sure that they're nice and polished. Okay, free to move is our goal. Okay, it is a bit awkward. Sometimes I even put these in the drill and just spin them around in the drill to get them really. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but that is basically all you've got to do. We are going to do the same to the opposite side. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll get it reassembled. Okay, so I have now got both of my shafts or kingpins trimmed down, so that's all done. Giving them both a little bit of a polish. They could probably do a little bit more, but for the sake of the video, I'm not gonna worry. You can also polish the little balls that came out the top, go in the bottom as well, just to try and free things up as much as possible. Next step, we can start reassembly. The kingpins are going back in the top, okay, and what you're after, okay, is them to be loose, okay, but not sloppy. Okay, there is a bit of play in there. Side to side play is what you really don't want. Okay, and that's nice and tight. This is near enough a new car. It's only been run around a few times. These parts do wear. Okay, but as long as they're nice and free and floppy, we're all good. And likewise with the balls that sit in the bottom, they want to be free to move and articulate. So the balls, they can just snap back into the bottoms. They've gone back in. And then it is a simple matter of reassembly. Not forgetting to install those pesky little washers. I always have a habit of going everywhere. Now, the way that I do it, I like to put the wheels or hubs on first, just inspecting these just to make sure that they're all in good condition, which they are. Okay, and just making sure I've got everything the right way around. Do a little assembly on this. It doesn't always go together first time round. Always have a habit of dropping the washers. But in to the, come on. There we go, easy. Okay. Hinge pin it in. Okay. You can just check that the hinge pin is all running freely as well. Generally they do. Okay, tighten that up. And then, same as we did before, with a pair of pliers or a knife or something, you can just squeeze. Oh, shock spring back in. And there you have it. That is the kingpin flip done on that side. Okay, and you can see that now is moving a lot freer. You can drop a dab of oil just on the kingpin, and that helps even more. But as you can see, that is a million times better. So there you go. I will now carry on and do the exact same thing for the opposite side. There we have it. We have now got the flip done on both sides. Okay, you can see that kingpin now travelling up and down quite freely. It just generally feels so much nicer. Yeah, well worth doing. Only takes about 10 minutes. Not even that. You only need the very basic tools, a pair of cutters, a couple of files, and that's really it. Yeah, nice simple free mod to do for your stock class Mini Z.